So, welcome. Trying this live thing out just to see how it all functions, see how it all works. Um, like I said, in many cases, I love this industry. I think this industry is absolutely the best industry to be a part of. I believe it is an absolute go-to place to become your own boss, to live life on your own terms. But one thing that surprises me is how many people have no clue what logistics is all about. They have absolutely no idea what a truck is. They have no idea what's going on. How are you doing? What's up, Ryan? Um, it is the best industry, of course, ever. But just, people don't know. People are just like, you tell them about trucking or you tell them about logistics, and it's a deer in the headlights, they just, no clue, what's happening, what it's all about, especially if you say the word logistics. It's just like, what did you just say? It's like a completely different language to them. So I think we just got to spread the awareness. We got to spread it out a little bit more and have people kind of know a bit more of what's happening and what it takes when you see a truck going down the road, to know that that's not just a truck going down the road. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that goes on that kind of you know uh has to happen for that truck to get freight from point A to point B. So really, in essence, I just wanted to spread some love and some awareness about this industry. I mean, the people I've met, like Ryan himself, people I've met in this industry. Robert, I always go back to Robert. Robert's an amazing guy. He's always spreading knowledge. Jeff Dickinson is another guy. He's always spreading a lot of knowledge out there for us to learn. And there's a lot of asset based providers that give us kind of the insight of a daily operation. And Ryan asks, what ways can we show strangers about our industries? People usually ask me how I can afford my dogs, and I say logistics. Yeah. So I I try to bring it up anywhere I am. I mean, I was telling people the other day, I'm in the gym, I'm lifting weights, I'm telling people I do logistics. I'm in the logistics industry. I'm in the sauna, I'm doing the same thing, Sometimes I pop random questions to people at the grocery store when they're trying to pick their favorite fruits or vegetables. I look at them and I say, "So, do you know how that got there?" And they just kind of look at me, the heck's going on with this guy? Why is he wanting to talk to me? But just, what? It's a very sociable job. You have to socialize a lot with people and let people know what you do, and kind of plant that seed in their brain, right? Kind of plant it and let it kind of grow. Let the intrigue, the curiosity kind of stem from that, right? So I think it's a great way to be a little bit more verbal about our industry, and letting people know that it's amazing. And you're right, man. You said, people ask, how are you able to afford your dogs? Dogs aren't cheap, if you want to do it the right way, the humane way, of taking care of them, nurturing. They're just like a baby. Any pet, any kind of pet. It's just like another child that you have to definitely take care of the right way. So you need, obviously, funds for that, right? Logistics is a great way to do that. Whether you're non-asset or asset based, it's a great way to fulfill certain things that you otherwise wouldn't probably be able to do, if you worked a regular 9 to 5 job. And it's I'm fortunate. It's I've done so many things in terms of achieving goals from a financial perspective, but also from a life perspective, things that otherwise probably would have been delayed if I didn't find logistics or if it didn't find me, right? So that's why I find this industry absolutely amazing. And LinkedIn is a great place to find amazing people, and to kind of bounce ideas back and forth off of whatever mode of transport, whatever sub vertical or sub section of industry. You can go back and forth and educate yourself and learn from others, and maybe teach other people things of that nature as well. Ryan also says, one of the best things about logistics is that your competitors are super kind and always willing to bounce ideas off of. Just exactly, right? That's exactly what I mean. And that's what I love. I have people like, so again, Southwestern Ontario, huge competition when it comes to logistics, from Windsor all the way up to Toronto and over towards Niagara Falls. I would venture as far as to say all the way up to Montreal, really, in terms of this entire major population corridor, the 401, and all the way up to Quebec. The fact that you have all these different competitors, but you're able to connect with them and bounce ideas off of each other, and hey, may the best, most lucky, most influential person win any contract that they go after. If that means Ryan wins, Ryan and I go into the shipper and the shipper chooses Ryan, the shipper chose Ryan for a reason. He didn't choose Ryan just based off of whatever, some specific piece, It's something that really resonated with that shipper. Most likely Ryan has a lot of different reasons why someone would choose him, but as an example is, we are competitors, but we are both in the same game and we are both trying to elevate each other. And if we elevate each other and we provide quality services, we will get a slice of that pie as well. And time will come where that happens. And so that's why another reason exactly is to be able to bounce these ideas off of our competitors and talk fully and freely about what our thoughts are, and likewise, there's asset based carriers that I reach out to, and every month I'll reach out to an asset based carrier and just be like, "Hey, bud, what's going on? What's up? How you feeling? How are things going? What's the volume looking like? What are the rates looking like? How are you handling the current down cycle in logistics, in freight transportation, after what we came out of for the last year and a half or two, so to speak?" And and people are willing to listen, and people are willing to share their ideas, with respect to that. And I'm the same way. When someone reaches out to me and they ask me, like, "Oh, what customs broker should I use?" If I can help in that moment in time, I'm gonna say, "Yeah, you know what? You should go and check these guys out." Or if I don't know, I'll say, "You know what? I really have no clue, but let me find out if I know somebody that does, and I'll share it in a post on LinkedIn, or I'll reach out to somebody that I know may have an idea of what that looks like, and I can then go back and help that person out, with a question they may have, at hand." So yeah, I mean, I've had, recently people ask me, "Oh, do you do warehousing?" And likewise, obviously I have good connections and I can provide introductions to warehousing. Sometimes people want to go directly through me. Other times I just say, "Oh, you know what? It's better if you go with them. You will get better pricing. I can't be competitive in that specific niche. You're gonna have to go to them." But it's better than being like, "Hey, you know what? I don't want to talk to you." Brian says, "I'm not a baker, but I'll find you the best baker you need." And it's true. It's true. It's a good way to live life. Honestly, it is my this industry has helped me so much to become someone I've always wanted to become. And that's someone that's of use, but someone that helps without anything in return. I don't need anything in return. If I can help you in any which way, I will do it. If that's possible, if I have the power in some way, shape, fashion, or form, I will do that. And Ryan is a great example of that. There's many others. I'm going back to Robert, Mr. Rob. Same thing. He's active on LinkedIn. He's always sharing knowledge and ideas, and trying to make the industry better, and people aware of the industry. I've had real estate brokers reach out to me and they're like, "I want to start a logistics business." A gentleman out of Miami, he's a real estate broker. He's doing just fine for himself, but he heard of logistics. He just doesn't know much about it. And then when I invited him into the world and I showed him around, his eyes were opened up like, "Wow, like really?" And again, he went through the whole legal route of getting an authority. I would always advise doing that. Getting your insurance, getting your bond, and getting the MC and the DOT, and getting all of that, and then getting the tech side of things set up, your email, your TMS, and all of that stuff, and going through the growing pains for the first 3 months, and then the 6 months, and then the first calendar year, and then eventually getting to a point where, wow, now I have customers, now I have carriers that want to run loads for me, now I actually have a full-fledged business that I can grow from seed to beautiful flower, right? So to bloom. So that's why this industry needs more love. We need more of that positive energy out there for the world to see, for people to engage in. And again, real estate brokers aren't the only ones that are getting into the industry. There's plenty of different people. I've had doctors, I've had dentists. I think dentists are doctors too, if you ask me. They reach out and they ask, hey, what is this? What do you think of this specific niche? Or I've had people reach out that say, okay, I want to invest in a specific type of company, for example, steamship line, someone like Maersk, or someone along those lines. And they'll say, how should I do it? Are there news articles out there? Are there places out there that I can find more information about this company to make my own decision about who I should invest in? And then you just spread it that way, and then you can implement into that. You can explain to them how that whole process works, so they're even in the know of what happens when you go and get and rent, or select a freight forwarder for your international shipments, and what that looks like, and what that whole uh, thing looks like in terms of the Incoterms, and in terms of the transportation and the timelines and the customs and everything that goes into that specific niche. And that's why this is an absolute amazing industry, that you can actually have these conversations with people from all walks of life. And I think it's amazing. And another thing, specifically for the US, when their military veterans come from overseas, from wherever they were, or they were just served in the military in some shape, fashion, or form, and they get into this industry, and you can have amazing conversations with those people. They can tell you about the world they saw. They can tell you about their experience in the military. They can then show you the comparison and the relevance of where they served, how they served, and why they did it, to how that actually interacts with logistics. And then you get to know that logistics is very important to military operations. It's very important for everything, and every subsection of military logistics. So everything is so intertwined, and everything comes back to this word, that we just simply cannot live without it. And so I have a huge respect for this industry. It's given me a lot, and I just want to be able to give back to the community the best I can through the knowledge that I have accumulated. And like I said, people ask me, "Oh, warehousing. Oh, do you how should I go about it? How should I base the provider off of what? What should I look at?" And these are CPG companies that come for advice. These are people that have larger equipment, larger machinery, larger palletized freight that needs to move, and they ask for these kind of a guidance towards how you should go about that. And I tell them, okay, it could be dependent on the demand, it could be dependent on seasonality, it could be dependent on the type of freight you have, the complexity, the ratio of returns that you're looking at, the market, whether the market's hot or down, the real estate, where that warehouse is located that you're looking potentially to become a partner of yours, regulations involved in the material that you're moving in and out. Is it hazmat? Is it non-hazmat? Is it close to a port? Is it far away from a port? Is it an inland warehouse? Like, what's going on? Is this going to be a customer? Are you going to be a customer that will go to this warehouse and give them volume? You're going to probably get favorable pricing. Is it going to be Are you going to be a customer once in a while? You probably won't get favorable pricing. So there's so many factors involved into just that specific part of logistics and warehousing, in essence. And so, I mean, again, I could sit here and talk for the next 200 hours about all the things and ramble on. But I wanted to take the end of business day just to shout out, give everybody much love, much respect, positive vibes, positive energy moving forward into tomorrow. Take it forward with you, spread the word, spread the logistics vibe, that happiness that goes into things and operations that you go through every single day in your daily tasks, whether it's quoting, tendering, tracking, tracing, sales, the dispatching of drivers, um, human resources, hiring new talent, or dealing with issues, or whatever the case may be. Always approach it from the side of piety and respect and honor, because we're really very fortunate to be in such an industry, an industry that has its ups and downs and the cycles that we go through. But use these down cycles to educate yourself and elevate yourself, and spread it with the world. So again, thank you, Ryan, for being a good guest and a good listener, a viewer, and hopefully more people join in next time as well, if possible. If not, hey, if I made one person happy and one person took these positive vibes in, then I've done a good job for the day. So again, everybody have a good and safe and blessed afternoon and what's left of it. For the West Coast folks, you still have a few hours left before the end of business day. We all know logistics doesn't stop at 5 p.m., especially if you're an expedite and time critical freight moves. But again, God bless to all of you. Stay safe with all this craziness that's going on in the world. I'm not going to talk about it, but because that could probably take me another 1600 hours to talk about. So I'll leave that out. But in any case, guys, cheers. God bless. And until next time, ciao.